A crusade for what? Ignorance? Violence? Madness? We must resist. We must fight them in any way we can.
A crusade for what? Ignorance? Violence? You know what I'm talking about? What's up, Assassin's Creed fans? And this is Solitary Gamer with my second commentary. Welcome. We're going to talk a little Damien Echols and West Memphis 3 and the ruling that came out today that actually has set them free. I mean, what do you think about that? That's crazy. 18 years is a terribly long time, and then to get out and try to figure out what you're going to do with your life. Still, I mean, it's tragic. It's tragic that they had to enter an Alfred plea, which is essentially guilty, in order to get free. When there's
Leave this
I'm gonna
place.
get this. But yes, so they finally get out, and the thing about it is, to me, is really there was no physical evidence to begin with, and then to find out, get the DNA results back, that they were not there on the crime scene whatsoever, and not to immediately release them, I think is wrong. I mean, in the state gets out like a dream here, basically, because they're out of damages. I'm gonna go climb that tower, folks. So I don't know. It's a great day. I'm so glad that they finally got free. I do feel for them. They got a long road to go, and they still have to prove to some people that they're innocent. Which, you know, there's absolutely no reason to believe that they're not. How does that dude not see me? How? Rarely ever does that actually happen to me. I love gut nuts, guys. So yeah, check down the street. Alright. But anyway, like I was saying, Damien Echols, you know, and a lot has to do with the documentaries. There's been a lot of people who worked really hard to get those guys free, and people who stood up for them. You know, word up to Depp, man, for sticking up for them, or Pearl Jam, or any other number of bands. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and Metallica. So, you know, what they went through is wrong. Terribly, terribly wrong. And I just hope they get a break. I hope they get somewhere quiet. I hope it's finally shown actually who did it. And I feel terribly sorry for the parents of the kids, because they now have no idea the killer is still out there, and somebody's got to find that person. Seriously. Yes, I do hope for everyone that there's some kind of positive outcome to all this in the future, and just gonna have faith, and I want to switch gears. I want to kick it down a notch here, and I want to talk about 12th century Damascus, which is what we are looking at from the top of a rather large tower. Actually, this city was doing fairly well at this time in its history, even though the crusades have been going on and had been torturing the city. And yes, admittedly, like we heard the Herald at the beginning, a lot of people in Damascus did not like the Crusaders one bit. They had suffered 100 years of war with them, more or less. This was the third crusade. It was the one with King Richard. So Saladin was in charge at that time. He had taken back Jerusalem, and he had taken over Egypt, and he had basically run his hand and created himself a little empire. But he also was smart in that he opened up trade routes with the Crusaders. Even though he was in the war, he tried to keep commerce alive, and probably through the Templars, which are featured in this game fictionally, of course. Alright, I'm going to see this guy, I'm going to pickpocket him. And so what they did was And so the people here were doing fairly well. It was a fairly prosperous time, but there was a large refugee population. There was tens of thousands of refugees here, so there was probably not very good positive sentiment towards the Crusaders. Oh, knife. So I think it's a rather interesting time period. By this time, Richard had freed Acre, which was the port city, which is where most of the trade actually went through. So there were still people moving back and forth between the cities and trading. So yeah, there's my history. Feel free to correct me. Everybody scream! Run, Forrest! Run!
I have not any money. All I ask is company money.
I'm blind, officer. I'm blind. So yeah, ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in. I got to talk about something I thought was extremely important. I do truly hope for a positive outcome sometime in the future for everybody involved, the parents and survivors of those poor kids and those families, the boys who
I'll be with you till the end.
wrongly jailed for so long. I'm going to slip in here with my homies and wrap up this commentary. Thank you again for coming. Support the cause. Like or subscribe. Please, in the comments, let me know how you feel about the West Memphis Three situation. Mad, glad, sad. I imagine we're all a little bit mad about something that's going on with this whole situation. And I do hope that it ends much better for everyone, at least better for them than for those poor guards. This is Solitary Gamer saying so long and peace out.
Once he was a teacher, a false prophet of their lies. But then the way was made clear to Jubair. He saw what must be done, understood it fell to him, having learned the truth, to spread it. And as he was shown the way, so was I. And I will show you as well.
أيها المحتلان من تريد أن تموت؟ دفلة مني حجر جدا. Come back here. تريد أن تموت؟ هل يكون ذلك؟ Beni yenemeyeceksin. Düşman fayda etmez.
You live a lie, surrounded by false knowledge, created.
Who did this? You will die here. Give up. You've nowhere to run. I'll have your head.
Oh, our father.
Where is the one? Faster!
Thank you! He was a teacher, a false prophet of their lies. But then the way was made clear to Jubair. He saw what must be done, understood it fell to him, having learned the truth, to
Over here! Pay for your sins! Give up! You know it!
Our fathers dwelled in darkness and their fathers before them. It does not mean we must as well. This is our chance to begin anew. Let Jubair lead you to revelation. Let him lead you to the light. You will live a lie, surrounded by false knowledge.
Yeah, I will beat you! Keep up with him! Don't let him out! I will end your life! God protect us!
Once he was a teacher.
He will not get... What? Who's done this? Tell me! You're making a mistake.